Hi United fans, stay tuned because this could change everything for Manchester United's summer rebuild under new permanent head coach Michael Carrick. We are diving deep into the latest bombshell surrounding Ederson, the sensational links with Mason Greenwood, the dream pursuit of Aurelien Tchouameni, and the growing confidence around Matheus Fernandes, as Manchester United look determined to move quickly and aggressively before the new season kicks off. Make no mistake, this is huge. The feeling around Old Trafford right now is that the club are finally trying to build with a clear football structure again, and many United supporters will absolutely love hearing that. So Reds, stay connected and subscribe to United Updates, because this summer could genuinely reshape the future of Manchester United Football Club. According to reports from Fabrizio Romano, Manchester United and Ederson have already reached an agreement on salary terms and a 5-year contract, and that alone has sent excitement levels through the roof amongst the fan base. Let that sink in. One of the most complete midfielders in Serie A reportedly saying yes to Manchester United despite all the pressure and noise around the club over the last few years. Now the focus shifts towards commissions, bonuses, and final details between clubs, agents, and intermediaries. But the important part is this: the player reportedly wants the move. That is massive for under Carrick's leadership structure. Ederson is exactly the sort of aggressive, hard-running, Premier League-style midfielder United fans have been crying out for. He wins duels, drives forward, covers enormous ground, and brings that proper warrior mentality England football fans absolutely adore. You can already picture him flying into tackles in front of the Stretford end while Old Trafford erupts. Unbelievable, but true. This could be one of United's smartest midfield signings in years. And honestly, Reds, if this deal gets over the line quickly before the Club World Cup period, it sends a serious message to the rest of Europe that Manchester United are no longer waiting around in the market. For too many summers, the club looked slow, reactive, and uncertain. This time, the mood feels completely different. Early movement, early negotiations, clear targets, strong intent. That is exactly what supporters have been demanding. The biggest question now is this: could Ederson become the engine that finally transforms United's midfield into a proper modern Premier League machine again? Because when you watch the way he presses, recovers possession, and drives through midfield, there are shades of the relentless intensity United have missed since the best days of peak Old Trafford dominance. Meanwhile, one of the most controversial and emotional stories of the summer is beginning to gather serious attention. According to multiple reports from France, Manchester United are considering a possible return for former academy graduate Mason Greenwood. Yes, you heard that right. And this story is guaranteed to divide opinion right across the football world. Reports suggest Michael Carrick wants to rebuild a strong, United DNA identity at Old Trafford, and Greenwood's footballing talent has never been in doubt. Even after leaving England, his performances abroad reminded many people just how naturally gifted he is technically. Left foot, right foot, finishing ability, composure in tight areas, pure top-level quality. On talent alone, there is no denying he could massively improve Manchester United's attack. But here is where the conversation becomes huge amongst the supporters. Would the fanbase truly accept a return? Would sponsors, media, and the wider football world react positively? Could bringing him back create unnecessary pressure around the dressing room at a moment where stability is desperately needed? These are massive questions Manchester United executives must consider carefully before making any final decision. From a pure football perspective, many supporters will look at United's lack of goals last season and think Greenwood could instantly change games at Old Trafford again. Others will strongly disagree and believe the club must move forward in a completely different direction. This is exactly why this story will dominate discussions all summer long. In my opinion, if Manchester United seriously explore this possibility, they must fully understand the scale of the reaction it would create globally. Football-wise, Greenwood clearly fits the profile of a deadly modern attacker. But Manchester United is more than just football quality alone. It is also about image, leadership, pressure, and responsibility. Carrick wants to rebuild unity, standards, and belief around the club again, and every major decision this summer must strengthen that vision rather than distract from it. What do you think, Reds? Would you bring Mason Greenwood back to Old Trafford if you had the final say? Or do you think Manchester United should completely move on and focus elsewhere? Then comes another fascinating development involving Real Madrid star Aurelien Tchouameni. Fabrizio Romano reports that internally, Manchester United see the French midfielder as a dream target and a long-term Casemiro-style replacement. And honestly, when you analyse his profile, it makes complete sense. Tchouameni has absolutely everything required to dominate Premier League midfields for years. Physicality, tactical intelligence, composure under pressure, ball progression, defensive awareness, elite qualities across the board. This is the type of midfielder you build a title-challenging side around. Imagine a midfield trio featuring Ederson alongside Tchouameni, protecting the defence while allowing United's attack to flourish higher up the pitch. That would completely transform the spine of the team. However, the reality is brutally difficult. Real Madrid reportedly have no intention of opening the door right now, and his wages would be enormous. So, while United admire him internally, this feels more like a complicated dream scenario, rather than an easy negotiation. Still, one thing should excite supporters. Manchester United are finally targeting top-level profiles again. They are not just looking for stopgap options. They are looking for dominant footballers capable of bringing the club back towards Premier League and Champions League contention. That ambition matters. That mentality matters. For too long, United looked miles away from Europe's elite clubs in midfield battles. Carrick clearly wants to change that. And then there is Matheus Fernandes, another name gathering serious momentum following West Ham's relegation. Reports suggest negotiations are expected to accelerate soon, because the player is very keen on joining Manchester United, while United themselves want business completed early. This is another important detail supporters should notice. The club are trying to avoid late-window panic deals. They want structure, planning, fast negotiations, early arrivals. That allows new signings to settle properly before pre-season even begins. Fernandes is viewed as a technically gifted midfielder with energy, creativity, and tactical flexibility. Qualities Carrick appears desperate to add throughout the squad. You can already see the bigger picture forming here. Manchester United are targeting athletic midfielders, younger profiles, and players capable of playing intense modern football. That is no coincidence. Carrick wants a side that can press aggressively, dominate transitions, and control matches physically and technically. Supporters in England love seeing midfielders who fight for the badge, battle in every duel, and play with proper passion, and these targets reflect exactly that style of football. The Premier League is unforgiving. You cannot survive with slow legs and passive football anymore. United know that. Carrick knows that. Sir Jim Ratcliffe and the recruitment team know that too. And perhaps the most exciting thing for supporters is the possibility that this could only be the beginning. If Ederson arrives quickly, could Manchester United then accelerate moves for a striker, another central midfielder, a full-back? Could Carrick finally get the powerful, aggressive squad profile required to compete properly against the likes of Manchester City, Arsenal, and Liverpool again? Old Trafford fans have waited years to feel genuine excitement about a rebuild, and right now there are early signs that this summer could finally bring real change. So, Reds, what excites you most about these latest developments? Is Ederson the perfect midfield warrior for the Premier League? Should Manchester United seriously push for Tchouameni despite the difficulties? Would Matheus Fernandes be a smart long-term addition? And the biggest debate of all, would you welcome Mason Greenwood back at Old Trafford or not? Drop your thoughts because this summer transfer window is heating up rapidly. And United Updates will be covering every major twist, every breaking update, and every massive Old Trafford story from start to finish.